Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the breakfast show. Again, I apologize sincerely for the delay as we do had some technical in our setup. And last night we did see a little bit of rebound on the US market. That's right. Now, what are those US markets? Definitely the Nasdaq. And also you may notice some of the green energy, right? The EV, the solar panel, those are moving well. So that means you got to watch out for our Malaysian market like SL West. I haven't seen them yet because last night I did see one of the big rebound in one of those solar stocks. So make sure you check out some of our next movement that you'll see will be the green energy stock that will start to take off. I think that's also important for some of you who are doing rotational play, and for those of you who are still sitting waiting for the market rebounding, you need to have a strategy. Of course, that will be great. So join us tonight where we do it at live FB at 9:30. We'll be talking about creating winning trading plan, how you want to look at the market. So some of those things that we'll be talking about. So make sure you join me at 9:30. So let's get on to what we have for you. And of course, do share this video in your timeline. I really appreciate. As for me, I'll be sharing 1 or 2 in here. And of course, the more you share, the more you gain, I suppose. Okay, let's go on to our regular thing here. All right, this morning, let's take a look at where we are this morning. And I'm just going to shoot to a bigger screen here. And let's look at our KLCI. It's not going anywhere after we have a big sell-off yesterday. As you can see, yesterday, big sell-off. Let me just scroll this up on top here. You can see the glove sector continued to sell off for some reason or not. Market is up 5%. So there's still a lot of bit of selling on this market. It's just that there are a lot of short sellers coming in to sell this market. And that's how I see this market in here. There's no telltale sign that can actually tell me why this market can actually sell for more than what it should, and that's, to me, I find it a bit interesting, whereas some sectors like the plantation has been overbought. That's why we're seeing correction in here. But right now we can see from this chart here, petrochemical, Inari are doing some sort of rebound back. Market is just up slightly 5 points only, okay, 5 points, which is not a lot, and we are going through what we call a down market cycle in here. All right, so take note in here. We'll appreciate if you could share this video on the timeline so more people will go. But again, market correction is already there. As you can see early on when we had that green pentagon, which is almost 2 weeks ago, that is a tall tale sign that this market here. Of course, there are other sectors that continue to do well. Just check out on the hot sectors right at the below in here that you can see. And you can see right at the bottom, still plantation and REITs. Everything else is really in the negative territory in here. Foreign funds are still on this side of the chart here. Sorry, this side of the chart, it is still a lot of green minimum of buying in here. But kind of interesting to see why we have it in here. So going forward, you're definitely going to be seeing a few more reports coming in saying that the bullishness of foreign funds coming in here, that's going to be pretty much in play. All right, let's look at the remaining of our story that we have for you. And of course, today is stage 2 shares, and with this down market, as I said before, stage 2 share, we are looking for the market up move. It's going to be difficult. A lot of the shares that comes out on SMARTRobie definitely are going through corrections already, right? Because you are really right in the halfway through, so corrections are in there. It's going to be tough looking for those. But let's look at the news roundup for this morning in here. Now this morning in here, Bursa is talking about a rebound bargain hunting for tech and chip stock, which has been down significantly. Also, let's take a look at the market for what it is, and let me just bring this up in here so you can see this is. So let's look at the tech stocks that they talk about in here, technology sectors. And we can put it onto your trading view. If you have trading view, use that one in here. So today we do something different. We're going to be using the trading view. Okay, so tech sector. Okay, I have this one here. I'm looking for tech Bursa. Okay, technology, and then you type Bursa, and you should be able to find that one. Technology Bursa, technology Bursa. I find everything except okay, let me just go this again. Okay, Bursa Malaysia, finance, construction. Goodness, so difficult to find. I haven't found it yet. Telecommunication, technology sectors. Yeah, that's the one on top of it. So you can see why I've talked about in here. And if you look from the terms of the peak and valley, we did hit the valley here. That was this big drop. Today it's up 4% for the Bursa index. That's the 9th of March in here. And yesterday was down 6%. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days already down. The market generally will rebound back. But again, this rebound back, it's going to go up and it's going to come back down again. So it's going to be a quick kind of profit taking in here. So you can see those of you who want to trade a swing trade on the downtrend, this is your favorite trade in here, but take note, trend still down, so the market's going to just pop its head up and continue to go up. Of course, it hasn't turned to the high side yet, so that you have to find the right side of formation in here. Perhaps something I will talk about more tonight in here. All right. So let's move on to bargain hunting. That's where it is. So on our next story that we talk about is the oil prices. Okay, we also be looking at the oil prices in here. If you look back the history of oil in 2000, and let me just change to a laser pointer here if I can. All right, you can see way back in 2008, we have that was the high hitting on 47. So a lot of talks, even as I was watching the Bloomberg, they're saying that if the oil embargo coming, you will hit 300 US dollar per barrel. That's where I think most economy in the world was like the recession. All right, and now they are waiting for Venezuela and also Saudi to really pump up, and even Iran, you know, to replace some of the oil. But do take note, the biggest consumption of oil for the Russian oil are actually China. So as long as China continue to buy Russian oil, not much is going to be impacted in here. But you can definitely see the oil prices has gone up to about 100. This is the Brent crude oil prices, which already hit above the 100 over US dollar, which is still in the January time frame from the chart here. All right. So let's move on to something that is also related, that is the Cpo prices. So you can see Cpo prices has looking from a politician in here talking about normalizing eventually correction to 4,000. Let's take a look at what is the Cpo prices right now. So FCPO. And we can switch that, so you can see Cpo has gone up by almost 67%. You know, in the last round when it gone up by 29%, this is where, you know, the bottom is, and you had the green pentagon here, just nice. Even if we take up, we have red pentagon right now, the market continued to go up right in here, but there was no any green pentagon in here because this market may be correcting. So you can see right now we have the 7% move, 6% move in here, but this is also a point that you need to be cautious in here because you got a lot of widespread bar. So just take note. So if it does go back to 4,000, you're talking about very unlikely because you got one whole year stabilizing above 4,000 in here. Maybe around 4,004 level will be a better level rather than the 4,000 level in here. But that's what the politicians are talking about this, and you can see the labor shortage, which right now our economy is reopening, and many of you will know yesterday the Prime Minister Ismail Sabri saying that our borders are opening on 1st of April, so we'll see a lot of labor coming back eventually in here. Then CPO prices will drop, but of course the oil prices continue, and also the what we call the cooking oil are high. This is also due to the war that we've seen in Russia and Ukraine. Okay, next is talking about the banking sector in here. So some of the great banks that we have in here continue to do well. So what are those banks that we talk about? Your usual suspect in here. What this article is really talking about is the likelihood of the bank margins are normalizing for year 2020, pretty much of second half of the year, because all the good news about the inflation rate already been priced in. All right, so the market's likely to move sideways. So remember, when good news coming out, that's where you want to be start taking profit. So you can see here research expected return of equity to bounce back to 10% 2023. So if you are buying now, you could be buying for 2023, whatever you bought earlier was for right now. So, and 2021 is 2022 is 9.1%. So let's take a look at some of the charts that we have. Okay, here are the charts that we have in here. So first one we want to see is probably, let's look at public bank. So you can see public bank here, a nice rebound, okay, and there was a selling that we saw on the 7th of March in here. Today rebounded back 1.16% here. So we already hit a peak and the market now is correcting in here. So it's a pretty good area to be taking a little bit of profit in here. Do take note. So if it's a quick one, then you're looking at very, very short-term kind of a trade that we see here. Okay, let's take a look at another one, Maybank. All right, and Maybank hit the peak at 910, also corrected back pretty much with what we've seen earlier on, the correction that we've seen. So we already hit a peak already, a high already. Now market is going to some sort of a pullback in here. So the peak value is something that which is find it very useful. And of course, the green pentagon will be signifying here. And also you do take note right in here, the market already went through this area, what we call the danger zone. A lot of bars in here. If you just gone in maybe 6-7 bars, this is where you want to take some profit. 880 will be definitely a good area. Right now you can see this market has already overbought. Okay, overbought in here. Okay, so that's pretty much on the banking sector. So let me just drag it over here and let's move on to the next news. Now, next news we'll be talking about Tongguan, how Tongguan is doing pretty well going into the stretch film in here. Now, going to US is definitely a different market altogether, but that would definitely instill a lot of confidence for them, you know, to move to a Western country in here. So Tongguan plan to install another production line for stretch film in here. They are into packaging, and the US plant are still in work. Okay, so and they have a lot of cash out front with about 292 million in here with the total borrowings of 181, and you'll pay 70 times less than earnings in here. A lot of headroom to see fits, and they are adding a buy call for Tongguan. Let's take a look at Tongguan this morning here. Okay, TGUN. And you can see Tongguan, wow, okay. So really on the opposite side, you know, despite the good news. And they are talking about what is the target price. They're lowering the target price to 450, POC from 570. Okay, so that is almost 100% gain right now in here. Let's take a look whether Tongguan do pay a dividend. We can always check it out in here. Let's switch over to our SMARTRobie. Okay, and Tiguan. All right, let me switch to a bigger chart here. You can see, okay, Tongguan, Tiguan, and the fundamentals. Tiguan does pay a very, very small dividend, 1.63. Having said that, the PE is pretty low, 9 times with the ROE of 12 times in here. It is discounted, right, with the target price of 252. 252, that's about it, you know. 252 would be the level in here, which is a potential 13.9% gain for that matter. So take note of Tiguan that's in here. But right now this market seems to be in a downtrend, right? Unless you're really long term, always take advantage of the chart setup if you want to buy anything in here. Even if you do buy now, yes, they may be a bit rebound, but having said that, you need to have some sort of a market turning green pentagon first at this base level, like what we did here and here. That will be much better in. Okay, and that's going to be happening if the overall sector has a rebound. But you can see from here, we did had triple top, then the market break back down in here. Right now, you know, with this big selling, that was the low, almost at the low here, right around 190. That was the COVID. And the market since then recovered, but now it's coming down in here. Definitely the going into the US has not taken very well. Okay, now let's move on to our next story in here. Yes, the next story is our Wyckoff superstar. That's right. Now come and meet him, the Ramon Bogomozu, which will be here with us for our March special Zoom online conference on the 12th of March 9:30. Now get your free tickets also from our store here, and I'll give you a link right in the below or at the comment in here. Now a little bit about Ramon. I know him from our association with the VSA in Wyckoff, and he's a adjunct professor, so he's really a Wyckoff superstar in here from the San Francisco Golden Gate University, where he teaches Wyckoff. He is actually the prodigy of Hank Prudence, another doctor in here. What's right, he has a degree in economics and management from University in Maryland, and a finance too, and with a certificate of the technical market analysis from the Golden Gate University. So this guy has been trading stocks and futures for almost 20 years now. He knows his stuff very well in here. He's also served as the president of the technical analysis of San Francisco and the board of International Federation of Technical Analysts. This doesn't get better. This well-known, experienced, highly academic, and a super brilliant genius guy. So make sure you catch him on the 12th of March. Yeah. Okay, so let's go on to the US side in here. And last night we saw a little bit of recovery that we've seen on the Nasdaq. Nasdaq did try to climb up but fall back, and they were trying to absorb all this news about the US ban in here. And so far, let's take a look at the US on the S&P 500 in here, and it's changing to ES1, which are usually used for the futures. And that tells you that's where we are, right? That was the yesterday buy in here. Did hit the low. That's right, retesting at the 409 on, and this is actually a very good position. Now, the Russian oil embargo, it's already been absorbed. Market did not break lower than the 4,000 level in here. So we will see. Now also you got 1, 2, 3, 4 bar down already. Okay, 4 bar down already. Now you have 1 green bar. That usually means we will have a pullback like we see here. 4 bar down, market straight up, 4 bar down. This is a good entry point, and the futures is already turning positive, which is up just 15 points in here. So take note, tonight we will see a rebound, and that's why our KLCI is up 5 points so far. All right, 5 points in here, and let's move on to. So corrections is still in progress in here. Let me just move to the side. You can see right at the top here. Okay, let's also go on to our usual program in here and check it out, our new watch list here. And of course, with all the alert, as the market is turning bearish in here, a lot of stage 2 shares doesn't work, right? Because it's going up. You want to buy those pullback, something that we teach in our masterclass, or the Pentagon Guider in here, or maybe just stay out. But having said that, you can always take a look in there, check it out, our Pentagon flow in here. And right now we're going to be reviewing the stage 2 shares for the March. Okay, let's take a look in here. And last week we only had one, which is the stage 2, which is the only public bank. All right, so let's take a look at public bank for that one in here. Let me just edit this. Okay, that was an idea 2nd of March. You can see right here. Let me just correct this again. 2nd of March, and let's bring up the chart wise. This has always been a real challenge to bring. Okay, I have trying to find out how to. Okay, let's bring this here. Okay. So we are looking at what we were looking at just now. Yeah, public bank. Okay, so public bank, I think we've seen it early on already last week, and you can see it's rebounding. So 2nd of March was our entry here. Yep, and the market breakdown because of the big seller that we've seen on the oil embargo, but it's holding up at the double bottom in here. Still pretty okay. All right, having said that in here, but there are other stocks you can pick up, but just for today, I'm not picking any stocks for this morning here. All right, also tonight, I'll be gearing in for the building a trading plan. This is the talk that we'll be doing tonight here. So make sure you join me at 9:30 in. And also right now, we'll be looking at a couple of stocks, keeping it simple in here. So if you have any stocks that you want me to look at, you feel free to let me know. and we'll be looking at them right now. Okay, so let's bring this thing up. So let me know if you have any stocks for me to look at. I'll be happy to check it out for you in here. If there's no stocks in, if you need to cut, do cut. And I think for some of you who are the basic beginner, who have joined us for the first time, right, I'm sure you will get definitely more about creating winning trading plan tonight at 9:30 on live FB. All right, if there's none, I'll see you guys later in here. Have a great day. And we got here Johnny want me to take a look at MYEG. Sure, let's take a look at MYEG. LB aluminium. Okay, it's a downtrend in here. So if you have bought it, right, and let's switch on to the ATR again. You have to be very careful. Breaking below here, it's going to go down some more for MYEG in here, but it's still in a pretty much in a downtrend in here. Again, this stocks, if you are trading, do be careful because our KLCI is not in any trends. So you got to take quick profits in here. If you're longer term, maybe you have to wait for a long term. Even if we switch to a weekly chart, this stocks in here is still range bound. Okay, having said that in here, range bound, try to buy at the support in here around maybe the 89 cents, or check out SMARTRobie for all the trading plans that we have. Okay, we have we have also LB aluminium. All right, LB aluminium, switching back to a daily chart. Yes, this overshot by itself, and generally if you bought it around 59 cents, I think you're likely to stuck. So that's why, you know, if you don't see any green pentagon, try not to go in unless you're very, very experienced, like you've gone in here. Okay, and if you take it from here onwards, okay, if you've gone in here to here, you have to make about at least 25%. All right, in here. And generally, most of the unskilled trader apparently only buy up here, and as a result, many of you don't have a trading plan. And I do hope you didn't buy at 60 cents, because right now you're already down the market in here and you probably get stuck. Okay, let's look at Emulus in here. Okay, Emulus, cut loss, okay, because it's going the downtrend if you are trading. But if you are investing, check out the fundamentals for investing. I think stocks like Inari will be much better in here, and right now you probably need to cut this as you're going further in here. As you can see, once you break through the ATR stop loss and the red pentagon, that would save you money, isn't it? So that's why at the end of it, it's whether you want to follow or don't want to follow the red pentagon, but these will definitely get you. All right, we got Maria here with the D-Sonic. Okay, D-Sonic already turned red pentagon already. Having said that, yeah, red pentagon is rebounding back in here. And let's switch on to the ATR stop loss, which we have it here. Right, yep, you need to cut it. See, ATR stop loss already broke through the 44 cents. So that's another stock you also need to cut loss, unfortunately, in here. All right, so all the best. If you don't cut loss, this likely the market. I think it's very important why we are doing that. Something I will share with you this evening in here. A lot of time, your focus is on not losing, so we don't cut loss. But our focus is not losing money. I mean, not losing money, we're talking about the overall strategy. All right, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you check me at 9:30 p.m. I'll be talking a lot about the trading plan for this evening. All right, with that, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing this video in here, and all the best. So tonight is the night, and don't forget our Saturday event. Okay, our Saturday event for our Wyckoff superstar, Mr. Ramon Bogomov, and also Dr. Gary Dayton in here, and the other speakers, including myself too. So I'll see you tonight, if not on Saturday, for our big online Zoom conference. Thank you for watching.